Hello everyone, I'm Nikita Lakhani and today I'll be representing LexClick and I'll be discussing the topic alternate disputes resolution. So this video will be divided into two parts. In the first part, we'll be discussing the basic meaning and types, and in the second we'll be dealing with the legal acts and sections that are involved in this. So beginning with what ADR refers to. So ADR refers to any means of settling disputes outside the courtroom or to a variety of processes that help parties to resolve disputes without a trial. Either ways, it is outside the courtroom. The process by which disputes between the parties are settled or brought to an amicable result without the intervention of judicial institution and without any trial is known as alternate disputes redressal. So ADR offers to resolve all types of matters including civil, commercial, industrial and family etc., where people are not being able to start any type of negotiation and reach the settlement. Generally, ADR uses neutral third party who helps the parties to communicate, discuss the differences and resolve the dispute. It is a method which enables the individuals and group to maintain cooperation, social order and provides opportunity to reduce hostility. So, what are the mechanisms of ADR? The first one being ADR is a mechanism of dispute resolution that is non-adversarial, that is working together cooperatively to reach the best resolution for everyone. ADR can be instrumental in reducing the burden of litigation on courts while delivering a well-rounded and satisfying experience for the parties involved. It provides the opportunity to expand the pie, that is, through creative collaborative bargaining and fulfill the interests driving their demands. Now, what are the types of ADR? Mainly, there are five that we'll be discussing here. Fourth, arbitration. The dispute is submitted to an arbitral tribunal which makes a decision on the dispute that is mostly binding on parties. It is less formal than a trial, and the rules of evidence are often relaxed. Generally, there is no right to appeal an arbitrator's decision. Except for some interim measures, there is very little scope for judicial intervention in the arbitration process. Now, the second type is conciliation. A non-binding procedure in which an impartial third party, the conciliator, assists the parties to a dispute in reaching a mutually satisfactory agreed settlement of the dispute. Conciliation is a less formal form of arbitration. The parties are free to accept or reject the recommendations of the conciliator. However, if both parties accept the settlement document drawn by the conciliator, it shall be final and binding on both. Now, the third type is mediation. In mediation, an impartial person called the mediator helps the parties try to reach a mutually acceptable resolution of the dispute. The mediator does not decide the dispute but helps the parties communicate so they can try to settle the disputes themselves. Mediation leaves control of the outcome with the parties. Now, the fourth type being negotiation. A non-binding procedure in which discussions between the parties are initiated without the intervention of any third party with the object of arriving at a negotiated settlement to the dispute. It is the most common method of alternative disputes resolution. Negotiation occurs in business, non-profit organizations, government branches, legal proceedings among nations, and in personal situations such as marriage, divorce, parenting, and everyday life. The fifth one being Lok Adalat. An interesting feature of the Indian legal system is the existence of voluntary agencies called the Lok Adalat, that is the People's Court. The Legal Services Authorities Act was passed in 1987 to encourage out of court settlements, and the new Arbitration and Conciliation Act was enacted in 1996. Lok Adalat or People's Court comprises an informal setting which facilitates negotiations in the presence of a judicial officer, wherein cases are dispensed without undue emphasis on legal technicalities. The order of the Lok Adalat is final and shall be deemed to be a decree of a civil court and shall be binding on the parties to the dispute. The order of the Lok Adalat is not appealable in a court of law. So we're through the basics of alternate disputes resolution. Moving on to the next topic, importance of ADR in India. To deal with the situation of precedency of cases in courts of India, ADR plays a significant role in India by its diverse techniques. Alternate disputes resolution mechanism provides scientifically developed techniques into Indian judiciary which helps in reducing the burden on the courts. ADR provides various modes of settlement, including arbitration, conciliation, mediation, negotiation, and Lok Adalat, as discussed above. ADR is also founded on such fundamental rights, Article 14 and 21, which deals with equality before law and right to life and personal liberty respectfully. ADR's main motive is to provide social, economic, and political justice and maintain integrity in the society enshrined in the preamble. ADR also strives to achieve equal justice and free legal aid provided under Article 39A relating to the directive principles of the state policy. ADR has proven successful in clearing the backlog of cases in various levels of judiciary. Lok Adalats alone have disposed more than 50 lakh cases every year and on average in the last 3 years. But there seems to be a lack of awareness about the availability of these mechanisms. The national and the state legal services authorities should disseminate more information regarding these so they become the first option explored by potential litigants. So we're through the basics of ADR, and in the next part of the video we'll be discussing all the legalities related to ADR. So hope you understood the basics, and if there are any questions you could post them down below in the comment section, they'll be answered. So thank